It is the year 1999 on Moonbase Alpha. Preparations for a manned probe of the recently discovered planet Meta are almost complete. The new commander of Alpha, John Koenig, is getting some last-minute information from the head of the Space Commission, calling from Earth.
How do you like this, John? The first close-up shot of the planet Meta, taken from the unmanned Space Bearer 9, just in.
It has atmosphere.
Not only that, we're receiving signals loud and clear. The planet Meta could be supporting life as we know it. We must make a manned landing. Nothing must stop us, John. Nothing.
Well, John, good to see you again.
Professor Bergman. Victor, still here.
Yes, I got caught. Listen, John, things are far more serious than I suspect you've been told. People are dying up here.
The virus infection?
Well, Dr. Russell doesn't believe it is a virus. Looks very much like the effects of radiation, but I'm not...
But what?
There is no radiation.
Look, Victor, you know me well enough to know that I'm not going to ignore the fact that people have been dying up here. But the space launch of the century must not be allowed to slip through our fingers. That planet is passing just close enough to make a landing. This medical problem must be solved. There's no margin for error.
Dr. Russell has some ideas worth listening to. Why don't you talk to her, John?
Commander, our 9th man died this morning. One moment he's fine. The next he had lost all control. Look at this thermographic plate. A malignancy erupts, and there's immediate disorientation of the kind that's classic in radiation attacks.
I understand, Doctor. You've had 11 cases so far.
9 deaths.
But all 9 who died were workers in Nuclear Disposal Area 2. The 2 astronauts with the same illness never went near that site. It's inconsistent.
There's another inconsistency. There is no radiation in Area 2.
What about the backup crew? Are they medically clear to fly this mission?
They appear to be, but they've lived the same lives, been through the same training as the critically ill probe astronauts. I can't guarantee that they won't be affected. 3 days or 3 months out in deep space.
Dr. Russell, the 2 astronauts. Come quick.
Well, Doctor?
It's over. They're both gone.
If it's the last thing I do, I'll find out why those 2 men died. Paul, I'm going to recheck the radiation levels of Area 2 myself. Get an eagle ready. I'll need 2 volunteers.
Yes, sir.
I want Area 2, Collins, not 1.
That's where we're going, Commander. We just use Area 1 as a turning point. Navigation beacon Delta. It's a landmark.
Area 1. This was the first nuclear waste area up here. Has it been used since I left, Victor?
No, John, they've moved on to Area 2. This one hasn't been used for 5 years.
How's it holding up?
All right, according to reports. Constantly monitored, no radiation.
All right, Collins. Let's move on to Area 2.
Landing at Area 2, Collins and Jackson go out on foot to check the radiation levels, while Koenig and Professor Bergman stay in the area monitoring depot.
Point 1, check complete. Radiation normal, no leakage. We're going on to point 48.
All right, Jackson.
Section by section, the 2 men check every part of Area 2.
Commander, point 48, check complete. Radiation normal. That's it, sir. All okay out here.
All right, Jackson. Thanks. Get out of there as fast as you can.
That seems to prove that the radiation can't hurt, within safe limits.
Whatever killed our men was not radiation.
Seems not.
Commander, I've got to get out of here.
All right, Collins. We're leaving soon.
No! Got to get out!
Stop him! He'll kill us all!
Collins suddenly goes berserk, but after a brief but fierce struggle, is overpowered. On returning to Alpha on the light side of the moon, Koenig asks for the flight records of the dead astronauts.
I checked the flight record as you asked, Commander. Listen to this. There's a 2-minute blankout on the flight recorder over navigation beacon Delta, Area 1.
That's where Collins took us on our way to Area 2. Does he always fly that route?
5 or 6 times a week.
And the probe astronauts?
Made their training flights at the dark side of the moon in that general area regularly.
Commander,
Yes, Sandra.
there's a steep rise in heat level, disposal Area 1. All indications show that the radiation level is normal, but the heat continues to rise.
Heat without radiation, without atomic activity. Put Area 1 on the screen, Paul.
Yes, sir.
Look at that. Lightning, surface fires. Victor, any ideas?
As a matter of fact, yes, John. I've been looking at this monitoring device from the old Area 1. It was used to record the magnetic output of the artificial gravity system out there. When the area was closed down, it had nothing to record. But now, look at it.
A 20-fold increase in the magnetic field.
We've been obsessed with radiation. Wrong. What we are facing is a new effect. Magnetic energy outputs of unprecedented violence, arising from the atomic waste deposited on the dark side of the moon over the years.
Magnetic energy responsible for the flare-up at Area 1.
Magnetic energy causing brain damage and bringing death to 11 men.
The probe astronauts went over there daily, as did Collins in the shuttle.
Then we've all been exposed to it, since we've all been to Area 2, and to get there we had to pass over Area 1. There could be a cumulative effect that could...
There's even a bigger problem. Area 1 burnt itself out in a huge magnetic subsurface firestorm. What if the same thing happens in Area 2?
Paul, let's get an Eagle out there immediately to monitor magnetic levels.
I won't be responsible for any more men out on the surface in these conditions.
Neither will I. We'll do it by remote control and follow it on the screen.
Radiation normal, magnetic field 0.
Okay, Paul, she's approaching Area 2. Sit her down. Easy does it. Look, she's going out of control. Blast her out of it, Paul.
No use, Commander. She doesn't respond.
She's gonna crash.
Look at the reading. A tremendous magnetic surge.
It could trigger an atomic explosion. Paul, contact Commissioner Simmons on Earth. Emergency code Alpha 1.
Yes, sir.
You were right, Doctor. It was radiation.
Magnetic radiation.
And now we're sitting on the biggest bomb man ever made.
Simmons here. What's the trouble?
The heat rise in Area 1 we reported to you has spread to Area 2, which contains 140 times the amount of waste as Area 1. With quantities like that, there could be a chain reaction.
Well, what's to be done?
We can try to break the pile apart, rip up the rods, destroy the mass. By dispersing it over a wide area, we might prevent that.
Good. Do it.
The first 6 Eagles are moving into the area now, Commander.
All right, Paul. Let's see it on the screen. Uma, I want central computer updated with everything possible, constantly.
Well, we're getting some of the containers moved. Number 26 dispersed to Grid 9.
Dispersed to Grid 9.
How does it look, Paul?
We've had navigational failures on 2 of the ships. They've returned for replacement. That means the magnetic field is probably expanding.
Tell the others to increase altitude.
Right. Main mission to all Eagles, increase altitude.
Captain Carter.
Yes, sir.
Carter, do you have an extra ship available?
No, sir. They're all committed.
Then take Eagle 1 into orbit. Report how things look from there.
Right.
Sandra, what are the readings?
Heat level holding. Magnetic field fluctuating.
That's what worries me.
What are the chances of getting it under control, Victor?
Too early to tell.
Eagle 1 to Alpha.
Go ahead, 1.
Liftoff complete. Trajectory computed and programmed. We'll be in orbit in 2 minutes.
Okay, Alan. Levels seem to be holding. If only they can... Commander! It's going up!
Paul, abort the mission.
Main mission to all Eagles. Return to base immediately. Repeat, return to base immediately.
Suddenly, all aboard Alpha Moonbase are hurled to the floor and held there as though pinned down by a huge invisible hand.
I can't move.
G-forces. We're moving. The moon is moving.
Alpha, can you hear me? This is Carter in Eagle 1. Do you copy? Alpha, I'm not receiving. Maybe you're receiving me. The moon is going out of orbit. It's moving away from Earth.
Carter, I read you. Can you hear me?
Commander, thank God you're okay. What's happening down there?
We've got preventive G-forces. Can hardly move. But we seem to be decelerating. Down to 3 Gs now.
Yes, we're compensating. You see, the whole waste disposal area has been acting like a gigantic rocket motor, pushing us out of orbit. But if it has stopped fissioning, we shan't be accelerating anymore.
Carter, did you hear that?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Can you make it back to the base?
Yeah, I can make it. I'm closing now. I can make it.
Good, Captain. Morrow, check around the base.
This is main mission. All sections report.
Security section, we have audio contact. Video systems gone.
Service section lost all power. Operating on emergency systems.
Medical section poor. Explosive decompression in 2 compartments. Area sealed off. No leaks. Sufficiently operative to accept casualties.
The big question now is, can we make it back to Earth? Uma, consult the master computer. I want a readout on contingency plan Exodus.
Yes, sir.
Emergency Operation Exodus, indefinite patterns. 1. Moon on unknown trajectory. 2. Constantly changing G-forces due to movement away from Earth. 3. Insufficient data to compute flight plan. Human decision required.
Attention, all sections. Alpha. This is Commander John Koenig. As you know, the moon has been blasted out of orbit, and we have been completely cut off from Earth. We have power, environment, and therefore the possibility of survival. If we should try to return to Earth without full resources, I believe we would fail. Therefore, it is my judgment we do not try. Paul, what about our communications with Earth? Any chance of restoring contact?
Very little, sir. We've lost all direct communication. All I can get is this video report being broadcast on Earth.
Put it up on the big screen.
The totally unforeseen accident on the lunar surface has caused very serious repercussions here on Earth. Due to gravity disruption, there have been violent earthquakes in the United States, Yugoslavia, and southern France, with enormous damage to life and property. The International Lunar Commission holds out little hope for the rescue of the 311 men and women on Moonbase Alpha. The moon's acceleration away from Earth has put it beyond the reach of any.
Paul, scan all frequencies for any signal from any planet. Paul, there's a picture coming in. There, hold that.
It's the planet Meta.
Meta. Maybe that's where our future lies. September 13th, 1999. Meta signals increasing. Yes,